My name is Roseanne, and I own Your Transformation Teacher. I asked, oh, I'm sorry. There we go. I asked Jenny to make my apologies because I just had my ribbon cutting across the street, and so I wasn't able to hear a lot of you. And because I'm new to Gadsden, I haven't met a lot of you yet. And so I thought I was going to come here and talk about the services I'm offering this summer. I have a flyer on the back table. My website is yourtransformationteacher.com. And tonight from 6 to 8, I'll be having an open house. But I wanted to talk to you about something else. First of all, I walk around town in what looks kind of like a cheerleader uniform with my hair and ponytails, and I thought maybe I should dress more professionally to come over here and speak to you guys. And I kind of diddy-bop around town like this and talk to people. I feel like it makes me approachable, and I'm just a person who has a lot of joy. But I was not always this way. So I'm going to talk about, instead of my summer program, I'm going to talk about what my family calls the Jason year. My firstborn son has the lowest risk lifestyle of anyone I know. Jason is on the spectrum. He is gentle and kind with a great work ethic and an incredible ability to teach others. He's been a teacher from a very young age, both for his younger brothers, they are all 5 years apart, and as an elementary school teacher's aide. Jason is completely emotionally self-sufficient, and while he loves his family very much, he needs little socially. He goes to work, he eats out, and he comes home to his family. About 2 years ago, my Jason was training a new employee that no one noticed anything unusual about until on his first day of work at American Wholesale Books in Florence, Alabama, Donovan Forbes walked into the break room and saw my son give the signal to start the upcoming war. Donovan went out to his car, got a gun we have no idea how a profoundly schizophrenic man was able to obtain, walked up about 5 feet behind my son, who was eating his solitary lunch and literally had no idea it was coming, and shot him in the head. He tried to shoot him again, and the gun malfunctioned, and so he took a 6-inch fixed blade knife and stabbed him in the neck to save the world. I don't have to tell you that the Jason year was hands down the worst year of our family's life. Jason made a full recovery, but we did not know that he would as we frantically ran around hospitals trying to find him. Eventually, we were to learn that he was life flighted to Nashville, Tennessee, to Vanderbilt University Medical Center, where there are some of the most gifted neurosurgeons in the country and easily the best rehabilitation facility in the United States. We made a 4-hour trip there in just under 3. And as I sat in the waiting room, a strong sense of peace came over me. And I thanked God from the depths of my soul for the 20 years that I had with this precious gift. And I prayed for his will and not mine. I immediately felt a deep conviction that whether or not he went home with me or went home to the Lord, that one day I was going to be standing in front of people telling them about how our family survived this tragic event intact for his glory. I didn't know at the time how I could ever survive such a thing, but I knew our family would, because despite my abusive upbringing, I came to an understanding as a young adult woman that love is not a gushy feeling you get that makes you feel good inside. Love is something that you do. Love is patient. Love is kind. It is not jealous. It does not brag. It is not arrogant. It does not act disgracefully. It does not seek its own benefit. It is not provoked, does not keep an account of a wrong suffered. It does not rejoice in unrighteousness, but rejoices with the truth. It keeps every confidence. It believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. And I believe above all that love is a skill set that can be learned. That is why my family survived intact. We had been taught the necessary skill set that made us come together as a family. Some of those skills I learned as a college intern at a domestic violence shelter, but also as a community. It is something I have a passion for teaching others, and so I became a relationship coach. That is what I decided to share with you instead of talk about my summer program. It takes judges and community leaders and teachers and mental health providers, law enforcement, first responders, and relationship coaches to make that happen. And sometimes it takes drug addiction counselors and rehabilitation centers too. The young man who tried to murder my son had none of these things, I'm guessing. I know very little about Donovan Forbes besides these few facts. He grew up in a broken home with drug-addicted parents. He'd been in a mental health facility before, and it obviously didn't work, likely because he was not med compliant. But Donovan was homeless, so maybe he had no way to obtain his medications. It is also obvious from what little sense he made in court representing himself that no one had taught his parents the love skill set. And in turn, they had not taught it to Donovan. This young man, experiencing a full-blown break from reality, somehow slipped through the cracks of the mental health system straight into that break room where he shot and stabbed my son. It is now my life's work to teach people that skill set. I want to make sure the families in our community develop those skills, just as my family developed the skills that helped us rise to the occasion and see the love we were truly made of. That love did not originate from me, but that love is everything. And I want to transform people's lives by transforming their relationships so their children grow up loved, gifted, accepted, educated, hopeful, kind-hearted, with a strong work ethic, like Jason Montalto, who was afforded many opportunities by both our family and our community that Donovan was not. The young man who attempted to save the world by murdering my son was so irretrievably broken that he believed he was a hero in his tormented mind. But all of you here today doing what you can to make more Jason Montaltos than Donovan Forbes are the real heroes. Thank you.